Well, Steve Arts 89. Well, I just watched the film Moon 44. Now, Moon 44 is one of those films I return to because, superficial reasons. It just has it has a lot of really nice practical effects. The colony on Moon 44 is all practical. It looks like a giant industrial oil rig building on... It feels like Blade Runner, it feels like Alien. There's so much detail they put into the miniatures, at least for the Moon 44 itself. The little helicopter spaceships that they use throughout the movie, they look a little dinky when they're moving around. They do feel small. They needed, I think, to film in a different speed or something. They need to do something with them. But aside from that, it's pretty impressive. I like it. It's a bit grey though. It does make the environment feel inhospitable, but it doesn't really feel alien. They should have had some sort of colour or something, maybe even just some blue, just to give it some sort of sense. It seems to have that in the trailer, but I mean the film itself just comes across as very grey. The film was made in 1990. It's English language, but it's apparently a German science fiction action film, which I didn't really know. It's got Malcolm McDowell, Michael Pear, and this other guy, oh God, he's been in everything. He's been in Buffy, he was a vampire in Buffy, he was in X-Files, he's been in everything. He was a Romulan in Star Trek Enterprise, he's been in everything. He actually had a few lines in this, and he had a character in this. I wish I knew what his name was. But it's a fairly simple story in some ways. It's basically there's a bunch of moon bases colonies that are mining to supply energy for Earth, because Earth has been sort of run down, of course, because it's a dystopian future, of course, like all freaking science fiction movies and shows are. And they've been basically taken over by pirates, and I mean, they're using ships that are piloted by drones, which seem really far out, 20, 30 years ago. But now they're delivering our pizzas. And they send out a bunch of convicts to man this station and man these vehicles. And some parts of this, the story is stupid and doesn't make sense. Like, these criminals, these prisoners, they come onto the site that the people who are there on the ground that help them run the navigation and the vehicles, they have to work together, and they immediately start to abuse these guys. They're all younger guys too, and and younger, smaller guys, and all the gym, all the jail guys are all like big gym fit, sort of masculine, uber action star, sort of 80s sort of style sort of characters. And the other guys are all these sort of nerdy sort of geeks. And they immediately start to abuse them. And I don't just mean insulting them and slapping them around. I mean one of them is abused in a shower, if you know what I mean. So I'm not going to use any of the words involved there because of the algorithm and YouTube. But that's fairly disturbing. I'm like, well, that's something heavier than I remember was in this film. And naturally, that guy eventually sabotages the guy during one of the fights and kills him. I'm like, well, of course. What did you think was going to happen when you literally assaulted that person in a shower? You think they're then going to, make sure you get through your mission alive? No, he's going to ram you into a wall and kill you. That's basically what he did. Then he gets thrown in the hole. He commits suicide. So there's a lot of dark stuff in this film I forgot all about because I'm just looking at the miniature work. But it then suddenly switches because at some point one of them stands up for themselves and says, look, you need us. We make your food. We make sure the place runs. We make sure your navigation things don't fly you into cliffs. If you keep messing with us, we're going to kill you. Because one of the guys actually poisoned one of the prisoners, and they start beating up the nerds. And they turned around and said, okay, you can kill me, but one of us is going to get you. You can't win. You need us. We need you. Stop. And someone else does this say stop fighting and that. And it's very basic. And then all of a sudden, we get to the section where they're fighting the droids, the AI, the drones, and all of a sudden these guys are acting like heroes, and they're all like patting each other on the back, and they're supporting each other, and suddenly they're all heroes in like the battle, the quest, and it really, I'm like, how do they get from there to here? There was like one scene, and it's very male melodrama. It doesn't make much sense, and there's still some nice effects, but it's mostly the planes and vehicles, whatever you call them. They look like helicopters, but they look like sort of spaceships at the same time. I don't know what they're supposed to be. In the end, they win over the drones, they save the station, and then the main hero guy goes back to the people in charge, who were basically, using them as pawns, and destroys all the intel and everything that they needed, and basically punishes them for. So it's very male melodrama, where it's like the underdog man sort of, gets revenge and is the hero, and that part is all sort of uninteresting and incoherent and all over the place, but it's got nice miniature work. That's why I keep watching it. I just watch the good scenes, the scenes of the miniature work. But yeah, it definitely creates an environment with that is believable. It's so much of it. Unlike a lot of sci-fi movies and that, where they don't have a lot of budget, they just have like one or two effect shots just to sort of be establishing shots, whereas this one just has whole sequences and a lot of footage that they filmed that they really sort of, it's like, we filmed it, we're going to show it, here's like 2 minutes of it, sort of thing. It's sort of like that, where that's where we spent the budget, that's what's going to be on screen. And I appreciate it, but I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I think it could have been a more interesting film if they tried with the script, because there's a lot of things in there and a lot of heavy themes and scenes that are kind of disturbing, but they don't really go with it where they could have, as well as they could have. And there's not a lot of development. Things just sort of happen because, reasons, because, script, story, this has to get here to here, plot, whatever. It doesn't really work. But like I said, when you're watching spectacle films and science fiction films and fantasy films, sometimes once you know the story, even if it doesn't make sense, you just kind of forget about it, and you're just sort of enjoying the production design and the fantasy and the visuals and all that element. So I find some of these films, even though they're not great, I can watch them again because I'm not watching them for the story or for the plot. I'm watching them for the visuals and how they make me feel, and what they do for my imagination and so forth, with the environments and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Bye.